The FBI released new details in its investigation of a ramming attack on Michigan's largest synagogue. Authorities say the assailant sent his sister in Lebanon videos showing Hezbollah-inspired ideology, and just minutes before the attack, sent more messages indicating he'd booby-trapped his car and planned to open fire. Reed Binion has more.
Based on the evidence gathered to date, we assess this attack to be a Hezbollah-inspired act of terrorism, purposely targeting the Jewish community.
The FBI on Monday confirming what had been widely suspected, that the attack on the largest Jewish temple in Michigan earlier this month was an act of terrorism. It happened on March 12th when the assailant rammed a pickup truck into the synagogue as more than 100 children were attending school inside. He hit a security officer before the vehicle got wedged in a hallway. There was an exchange of gunfire with synagogue security officers before the attacker shot and killed himself. The truck caught fire and caused extensive damage to the building. According to the FBI, the vehicle was filled with more than $2,000 worth of commercial-grade fireworks and roughly 35 gallons of gasoline, which investigators say the attacker used to enhance the explosion. The attacker was a naturalized U.S. citizen. Authorities say a week prior to the attack, members of his family in Lebanon, including two brothers, were killed in an Israeli airstrike in the war with Iran. The Israeli military said one of his brothers was a Hezbollah commander.
A review of his online activity since January 2026 revealed a reoccurring search history of pro-Hezbollah news channels, Iranian news channels, and videos about shootouts and bullets.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.